Hello there, everybody. So, welcome to the live stream. We're just going to be kind of talking about random stuff, whether somebody joins or not. Just jump right on in and start the discussion if you'd like. So, we're going to be talking about a various amount of different things. We're just going to be going live for about, whether it be 30 minutes to an hour, whatever. Let's just have fun with it. But to get started, sit down, get yourself a nice glass of water, maybe some, like what I got here, maybe some pizza rolls, whatever it might be. Because this is my first time going live, so we're just going to kind of ramble along. So, a lot of you have been asking me to do videos about my plushies. Now, I've been working hard on some projects and such, and that's something that I'm very passionate about, is making the custom plushes that you all know and love, whether it be, the Wizards or, Rockstar Bonnie and Rockstar Chica. I've been working hard at designing Scrap Trap. It's not been going that great because, whether it be the Bone Knife or whatever, it's difficult. He's a difficult character to make. And that's kind of where I, at this point in time, have just been kind of struggling with coming up with a design for it. So that's something that we could also do maybe later on tonight, whenever I have a little bit more time. We can go off and maybe we'll design a Scrap Trap plushie, if you guys would be interested in that. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put my hair up, and we'll talk about the FNAF movie and the DLC and such, and we'll see about, talking about some more things like that later. So, with the movie, my biggest hope is that obviously it brings back old fans. Now, a lot of fans, whether it be just, of the old series or whatever it might be, then a lot of fans dropped off at Security Breach, mainly because they didn't like what Security Breach was looking like. I'm going to go ahead and close this window. Or at least close the light, I should say. The curtains. There you go. Like on Pirates Cove. So, a lot of FNAF fans dropped off on Security Breach because they didn't really have high hopes for it. I don't blame them. I just about did too. That being said, just because Security Breach was not great, in my opinion, doesn't mean that I no longer love the series. It just means that it's kind of hard for me to look at some things the same, because a big thing about the FNAF games is that it's all up to interpretation. So, William Afton, big time serial killer, hiding himself away and whatever. And then Burn Trap, he's coming back for the third or fourth time. And it gets old. It just feels like we're trying to throw a new coat of paint on the same old story. And it feels like and I hate whenever people say this, but it sounds true. It feels like they're just rehashing the old same stuff and that they've ran out of ideas. And with the Ruined DLC trailer that just came out not too long ago, it does look promising, but I really hope that the FNAF movie brings back those fans, and then they stick around for Ruin, and then they see that it's good again. FNAF is good again. It's a great time to be a FNAF fan right now. It really is. There's a lot of things that have been going on that I, as a classic FNAF fan, where I can see those old, Click Team games and look at them and I can say, this is FNAF. But when I look at Security Breach, I don't see the same thing. I can't see that that's a FNAF game. It's not the difference in gameplay. Keeping things fresh is always a great idea. It's not the same. It just feels different. It feels wrong. It's not the same game that we fell in love with. But with Ruin, it feels like they're really digging into that horror aspect. Like Roxanne, she's terrifying looking. Monty, I don't know what the heck happened to his shell, because, whenever we seen him last, he was torn in half, obviously. But, like, his shell and stuff was still on his body, but now it's, like, decayed to where part of it is brown? Maybe that's, like, the white animatronic shell that's, like, underneath his suit. But, like, he is decayed so far that it's not recognizable as Montgomery Gator anymore. He looks terrifying, and I'm all here for it. I love it. I honestly wish that these designs could have been shown off in the base game, just so that way we could have seen some more, like, really cool stuff. Because if the Afton ending is actually canon, where the Blaze, Gregory ends up basically getting the entire pizzeria, to collapse in on itself, then these animatronics would be scorched, because remember, they were down there, they were wandering the halls while Gregory was down there, and the blob was flinging his tentacles or whatever all over the place, and Afton was down there hobbling his way towards him, and doing whatever the heck he was doing with the computers, I guess possessing them or something. I can see your search history. What the that kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just a goofball. That's one big thing that you guys can probably already know. But the Ruin DLC is pretty promising, and I'm all here for it. I think it looks fantastic, and it already shows something that the base game lacked. And even if the gameplay is literally just the same thing, because it already looks like it's going to be very samey to the normal base game. It already looks good. It looks great. The fact that the cameras are now black and white and kind of that eerie-esque FNAF vibe that you should be getting, from FNAF, the classic security cameras and whatnot. She has a weird little plug-in for a computer that looks like it's straight up hacking whatever it touches. So that's a little weird. But one thing I really want to talk about is the existence of a fan favorite character that never even existed in the base game. He was mentioned a couple of times, and that, of course, is Glamrock Bonnie. Now, Glamrock Bonnie, where do you even start with him? Glamrock Bonnie is something else. Apparently, in the teaser that we got, the teaser trailer for Ruin, he's at the very end, and he shows up, and he's in a crumpled old mess. Part of his face is just completely removed, but you can see two floppy ears, and just these weird little specks of light just shooting up from his eye sockets. And he looks terrifying. I hope that he gets activated or something. Maybe he'll be on the side of Cassidy, or maybe not. The girl's name was Cassie, not Cassidy. I don't understand why Scott thinks he has to use a lot of the same names over and over again, but apparently now there's Cassie instead of Cassidy, and then there was Gregory and Gabriel, but whatever. But either way, Bonnie is here. We have an official design for Bonnie, so that's cool. Very excited to see what they do with that. The Sun and Moon animatronics. Oh my goodness. They have created the Eclipse. I'm very excited to see where all of that goes. He's got the terrifying red eyes, and he's all damaged and beat up, and he looks like pure nightmare fuel. I don't understand why or what happened to this man, but he looks terrifying. He looks great, though. I will say that. He looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm all here for it. As far as Burn Trap goes, I kind of don't know if he's actually going to be back or if he's not, or what the case with that whole thing is. Personally, I hope that he stays. Now that they've established him, he better stay for more than 5 seconds before they kill him off again. And if Burn Trap really is the Mimic and not Afton himself, I don't know, man. I thought that was kind of it was scary in the moment whenever we finally found out that Afton was back. And if they retcon it to be not actually Afton in the flesh, but just a robot pretending to be Afton, I mean, I'm not a big fan because he already has the natural muscle textures and stuff. So it's why not just have it be William Afton? But then they introduced in the book a character called the Mimic. If you all haven't heard of it, there's a lot of great videos about it, great theories. The Mimic is basically a computer software that mimics human actions and such. And, if you are violent towards it, you punch it in the face, it's going to punch you right back in the face because it's watching what you do. And it'll do that, and it'll start learning behavior as you do it to the Mimic. So if I was to, uppercut the Mimic, it might, 5 days later, come back and uppercut me in the face whenever it gets a little angsty. But if the Mimic is Burn Trap and not William Afton himself, I'm going to be a little bit peeved because it's why would you bring back, the Springtrap-esque character just to make it not be William Afton? I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it was Spring Bonnie, without the corpse. That's just Spring Bonnie. That's fair game. But having it just be William Afton, where, it has a human face in the Spring Bonnie suit, but then also have it not be William Afton while it's still in a spring Bonnie suit with his corpse. It just feels lazy. I mean, there's nothing else really to say. It's like they're trying to use the books to save their own butts. And I'm not a fan of that. The Tiger Rock animatronic. I hope that he shows up somewhere. I hope that the books are actually, connected like they are treating them to be, and not just have them be, one-off stories that mean nothing. Because the Fazbear Fright stories, they could exist in the game's universe, in the first, 6 or 7 games or whatever. Then they really could exist if they wanted to. Like, the Man in Room, the story I'm talking about. I think it's 180, or is it? I don't know. I remember it as 1404. I don't know why. I think it's 180 though. The Man in Room 180. I remember reading that book. I was avoiding spoilers forever, and whenever the body started demanding that it be took to a Fazbear location, I was like, "Let's go! That's my boy Willie. Willie is back. Let's go!" And the fact that the body explodes is just disgusting, because like whenever I read, I can sit here reading a book, whatever. I was reading it the actual book form, not my phone, so I don't know why I'm doing this. But I was sitting there reading or whatever, creasing my hand, flipping the pages, whatever. And whenever I read that in extreme detail, I was like, William is back. He's got to be back. He's escaped purgatory, and this son of a gun is back. For some reason, this man is back for vengeance here. And if they kill him off without doing anything with him, that's going to be even more of a letdown than them just bringing him back again and again and again. With that being said, I personally think that Vanessa is dead. I hope that she's not, because they played Vanny up to be like the biggest thing since William Afton himself, the biggest threat. But then, most of the endings ended with her either being killed, shoved off the building, and possibly burned alive in a fire. And that's just, like, I was really hoping for a good story with a copycat killer and, Vanny, like, where did she go? In the Afton ending, we don't know what happened to Vanny. Whether she dies along with, the other animatronics, and, if Gregory, never mind, we know that Gregory lives because he's in the Ruin DLC. If Freddy really does, end up not showing up in Ruin, and Vanessa doesn't show up in Ruin, I'm just going to be thinking, what happened? Because if they don't play up Vanessa more, if she's dead, I'm going to be a little bit peeved, because they killed off 2 of our main villains already, and that kind of sucks. I do want explanations on why the animatronics are so, like downtrodden and, wore out and such, because it's not been too long. I mean, there's no way that this kid could have gotten trapped in a burnt down building underground and been surviving off of what? Has he been eating dirt the entire time, or what? Because not too much time could have possibly happened, but maybe the blob started attacking the animatronics and pulling their shells out, like off of their endoskeletons. That's possible. Or maybe just the ground, fell on top of them and they're all, withered and disheveled and broken. But whatever. That's against the point. Let's, switch gears here and start talking about some other things that I'm, pleasantly surprised about. So whether it be FNAF, Lego, Skylanders, whatever it is, I have a lot of passions. You all know that. And I'm going to be moving here soon to a town that I used to live in, where there's a lot of really good stuff that I can possibly go off and do. And yeah, so I'm going to be taking select things with me, and it's going to be a little bit hard to pick and choose what to bring. I'm definitely bringing my plushes and stuff like that, but I'm also going to have to leave behind a couple of things, because I do have a lot of stuff, but my spot that I'm going to be going to is a little tight on space. So I'm going to be bringing things, and it's going to be hard to decide, but we'll have to see over the course of the next few days what all is coming and what all is staying. That being said, I'm not going to let that drag me down as far as my hobbies and such, because I really am passionate about these things, and I am not going to let those go. With that being said, though, I just got a text from some people that really need me to do something. So for now, this is going to have to be the end. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed listening to me ramble for a little bit. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are watching the playback later, I appreciate it. Thank you all very much. Maybe I can get better at scheduling these things because this is just me throwing myself out here, just wanting to talk and ramble. And yeah, but I enjoyed having this chat with you guys. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Peace out and bye.